My online boyfriend watched way too many short dramas. He insisted I call him young lady when he went out to eat with friends. He said he had to attend a charity gala today. I learned fast. So when my friends asked me to game, one short for a squad, I said, it's an elite airs only match, you wouldn't get it. My online boyfriend totally agreed. I always thought we were just a weird meme couple, until right before New Year. He pulled me into his childhood besties group chat. He said, they're all my best friends. They want to meet you. I opened the member list and froze. Why was the terrifying female boss from my company also in this group? The famous young ladies, dowry maid. That demon boss tagged me in the group. Brother-in-law, say something. Then, she sent a cute cat meme begging me to speak. I didn't dare move. I seriously didn't dare move. Weren't we just doing a bit? Why are you guys actually rich? Honestly, the moment Liu Ruoyan pulled me into the group, I already felt something was off. The four-person group was chatting away, and no one noticed I had joined. I stared at their messages, deep in thought. Shen Yuchu wrote, it's winter. Let's go skiing in Zermatt. I lost to Bei Nangbing last year. This year, I'm winning it back. The young lady's dowry maid replied, you couldn't beat me last year. What makes you think you can this year? Su Qian said I'm not going. My husband is taking me to St. Barth for vacation. Shen Yuchu replied, please. You call that traveling. You're just sleeping somewhere else. Good luck. I was speechless. I stared at my phone, my jaw practically on the floor. Something was wrong. Very, very wrong. Why did these names look so familiar? Especially Bai Nangbing, whose group nickname was the young lady's dowry maid. That name rang a bell. Her profile picture was a photo of herself at a ski resort, which looked even more familiar. Just as I was racking my brain, the people in the group finally noticed I was there. The young lady's dowry maid said, huh, there's someone new in the group. Liu Ruoyan replied, you only just noticed. Let me introduce him to you girls. He's my boyfriend. Then she tagged me. The group went silent for 2 seconds. Then several messages popped up at once. So it's brother-in-law. The young lady's dowry maid wrote, finally, we've been bugging you forever. Yanyan, and you finally let us meet your boyfriend. I'm so curious. What kind of legend is brother-in-law? How did he manage to win over our Yanyan? I instantly felt awkward. Liu Ruoyan and I had been dating online for over 2 years. But this was my first time interacting with her besties. I was just about to type something when, out of the corner of my eye, I saw the young lady's dowry maid's profile picture. My fingers froze mid-type. I suddenly remembered where I had seen that face before. My brain buzzed. I immediately switched out of the chat and opened my company's official website. I dug through the back end until I finally found a photo. It was taken 3 months ago, during our company team building event. In the center of the photo stood a young woman, coldly beautiful, with striking features and an almost otherworldly aura. She wore a sharp, professional outfit, but it still couldn't hide her figure. I stared at the caption for ages. The name Bai Nangbing stood out like a spotlight. Bai Nangbing, a director at my company, the infamous female demon boss, and also the only daughter of the founder of Bai Group. Messages kept flashing in the group. The young lady's dowry maid sent another message, tagging Ba Dao Niu Ma. Brother-in-law, your WeChat name is hilarious. Then she asked, how did you and Yanyan meet? The young lady's dowry maid sent another message. Brother-in-law, say something already. A cute cat meme begging me to speak kept spinning in front of my eyes. I randomly replied with a greeting sticker, then left the chat. Then, with trembling hands, I opened my private chat with Liu Ruoyan. Trying to sound natural, I typed, Bob, that bestie of yours called Dowry Maid. She looks kind of familiar. Liu Ruoyan replied instantly, she's pretty chaotic, so don't mind her. Her name is Bai Nangbing. She's the heiress of the Bai family. Their business is everywhere, so maybe you've seen her before. My mind was a complete mess. While replying to Liu Ruoyan, I went online. and started searching the other group members, one by one. Then my barely hanging heart finally died. Shen Yu-chu, the youngest daughter of real estate tycoon Shen Ren, currently studying in the U.S. Su Qian, second daughter of the founder of Su Fortune Group, a textbook rich, gorgeous heiress. My brain had completely stopped working. My fingers unconsciously typed Liu Rui's name into the search bar. Soon, the search results popped up. Liu Ruyang, the eldest princess of Ransheng Group, and the youngest female board director in the company. The title was, Why is 1 grilled sausage 3 yuan? But 2 grilled sausages, only 5. I thought the poster was kind of hilarious, so I casually commented, do you also not know what the first thing to do is? After activating a 99 yuan membership, the other person quickly replied, yes, I got that one wrong too. Obviously you turn off auto-renewal. So next time, it's still 99. She called me smart and said I knew my stuff. Nothing special, really. But in 24 years, that was the first time I'd been praised so directly. I instantly got interested and started chatting with this random netizen. Later, as we kept talking, we added each other on WeChat. At first, we weren't that close until she discovered I was playing a super popular mobile game. So she asked me if it was fun. I excitedly said, it is. Wanna play? I'll carry you. She said, sure, I'll go make an account first. But just so you know, I might be really bad. You're not allowed to flame me. After gaming together for 3 months, I realized this girl was honestly terrible at the game. But her emotional support absolutely maxed out. Not only did she have a sweet voice, she also knew exactly how to act cute. My affection for her shot way up, so I started making moves. Later, after Liu Ruyan and I officially became a couple, our chats gradually became more relaxed. I had to admit, this girl was exactly my type. It was just that, sometimes, the way she talked was weirdly abstract. When she went out to eat with friends, she said she had to attend a charity gala today when her mom called her home for dinner. She said, this young lady is returning to the old family estate to dine with the matriarch. When she rejected a blind date arranged by her family, she said she didn't like family alliances. I learned from her and quickly mastered the art. When my friends asked me to game, one short for a squad, I said, it's an heirs-only match. If I don't show up, no one can make a move. When a civil servant friend couldn't hang out, I said, a close friend is in politics. It's not convenient for him to be seen out. When I ordered a group deal meal, I said, I invested in an online dining project with a few business partners. The risk is pretty high. Liu Ruyan totally agreed. She said, looks like our lifestyles are pretty similar. I sent a cheers sticker. I replied, we really are made for each other. I always thought Liu Ruyan and I were just an abstract meme couple. Never once did I imagine that until today. My entire worldview had been wrong. Wait, so I was the only one doing a bit. You guys were actually serious. I sat at my desk, staring blankly at my phone. My coworker Shenman poked me. Gee Boda, still playing on your phone. She leaned in and whispered, insider news. The director might drop into our department for an inspection today. No one knows exactly when. So don't get caught. Shenman and I joined the company around the same time. In the whole department, aside from the two of us, most people were returnees or nepo hires. So, naturally, the two of us became allies. She also knew my family wasn't well off. Getting into Bai Group had taken a lot of effort. If I got caught slacking off during work hours, best case, my pay would get docked. Worst case, I'd get thrown straight onto next quarter's layoff list. Shenman was reminding me, out of kindness. I snapped back to reality. The director, Bai Nangbing, was coming. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The small group chat vibrated twice. It was a new message from Bai Nangbing. Can't talk anymore. I've got something to do. Su Qian asked, what are you doing? Are you coming back for dinner? She said, I have to inspect all the company departments today. I can't skip it. My dad told me to. Then she tagged Ba Dao Nu Ma. Brother-in-law, brother-in-law, we'll chat next time. Another cute cat meme begging me to talk. Su, Kian asked, aren't you near the company? Bai Ningbing replied, yeah, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Gotta go. 10 minutes later, I saw her in person at the company. The lively, jumpy person online had transformed instantly into a rich heiress, surrounded like a star. Bai Ningbing wore a professional suit with flawless makeup and a sharp, polished outfit. Several supervisors crowded around her as she slowly walked down the corridor. Her expression was cold and distant. The leaders who usually acted so superior seemed to become completely different people in front of her, fawning over Bai Ningbing nonstop. Bai Ningbing didn't stay in our marketing department for long. Her gaze didn't even land on me for a second. For people like them, if there's anything you can't handle, you can tell me, I'll carry it with you. Huh. My eyes lit up. The chance had finally come. I said, anything I can't handle. I questioned her, what do you mean by that? Liu Ruyan replied, I sent. Are you doubting my ability? I get it now. You don't trust me. The most important thing between couples is trust. If that's gone, then there's no point anymore. Let's break up. After saying that, I blocked her, deleted her, and handled the whole thing in one clean sweep. With that huge hidden danger gone, I sat alone in my empty room, quietly heartbroken. A rich heiress falling for a poor guy. I wouldn't dare dream of it. Damn it. Why couldn't Liu Ruyan just be a little poorer? She had a great personality, a good heart, and she was beautiful. I really did like her. But, thinking about it carefully, I slowly made peace with it. The reason she was so wonderful probably had a lot to do with her privileged family background. After the breakup, I inevitably got gloomy. Even my co-worker Shenman noticed. Something was off with me. Jiboda, what's wrong? I sighed and said, don't ask. I got dumped by love. She looked at me in surprise. Then, silently handed me her little milk dragon stress toy. I picked up a document beside me, just about to get back to work, when the team leader casually called out, Little G, you seem pretty free. Go downstairs and buy me a coffee. For freaking sake, here we go again. In the whole department, only Shenman and I had no background, so we were easy target. That's why they kept dumping errands on us. Shenman saw I was in a bad mood, so she said, Broji, I'll go. I waved my hand. It's fine. I slowly stood up and said, I was just going out for a smoke anyway. Like a wandering ghost, I went downstairs, bought the coffee, and was heading back when I saw the private elevator doors open. Bai Ningbing and her group walked out. I quickly stepped aside. Director, Bai. Someone hurriedly chased after her. He didn't see me standing off to the side at all, and slammed right into my left shoulder. The coffee, in my hand, splashed all over him. The whole place went silent. I recognized him. Marketing department supervisor, Bi Yuntao. He shouted. Ji Boda. Furious, he snapped at me. What the hell are you doing? Bai Ningbing calmly glanced at him. She said, you were the one who bumped into him. Bi Yuntao Zhou, and fell silent. Bai Ningbing's gaze landed on the mess on his shirt. With a disgusted look, she said, go change your clothes. Bi Yuntao quickly nodded. Then later, Bai Ningbing impatiently lifted her eyes and cut him off. We're discussing a partnership today. Time is tight. I don't have time to wait for you to change. Bai Ningbing's gaze shifted to my name, Todd. Marketing department, Ji Boda. She lightly pointed at me and said, you come with us. You'll just take note. I remember the proposal you worked on. You're pretty capable. The words, Ransheng, were still spinning in my head when I was already swept along and stuffed into the car. Ransheng Company wasn't close. The drive took 40 minutes, and I spaced out for all 40. The guy sitting beside me probably noticed I was distracted, so he comforted me. Don't worry, this partnership is basically a done deal. We're just going through the motions. Right. Just going through the motions. I'd stand behind everyone else, like a background extra. No one would notice me. I comforted myself for ages, and my pounding heart finally calmed down when we reached the entrance of Ran Sheng's building. Bai Nangbing suddenly took a call. She told us to wait for a moment, then moved a few steps away. Unfortunately, my hearing was way too good. Bai Ningbing's voice kept drifting into my ears. She muttered, "Ruyan's been in a bad mood lately. She ran into a scammer. I don't know. Apparently that guy scammed her. For money and love. Yanyan was tricked out of tens of millions too. I was going to tell her to report it to the police. I was horrified and shouted out loud, 'What?' In an instant, everyone's eyes locked onto me. This was the first time I truly met Liu Ruyan in person. Compared to the photos I'd seen online, Liu Ruyan was even prettier in real life. She was tall, with a tiny waist and long legs, a white silk blouse paired with a deep blue skirt, and a pair of silver-rimmed glasses. Her features were delicate, her eyes and brows sharp, total elegant older sister energy. She walked straight past me without looking sideways, glanced at Bai Nangbing, and said softly, "You are here. Let's go to my office." Her voice was charming and beautiful, exactly the same as what I'd heard through my phone. I stared blankly at her back, with only 5 words in my mind. "I'm done. She's perfect." Inside the office, the guy beside me reminded me, "Little G, put the files on the table." I quickly did as told. I stretched my arm out and placed one file in front of Liu Ruyan. I said, Liu, please, take a look." Liu Ruyan's hand paused as she reached for the file. The next second, she looked up at me. Her almond-shaped eyes narrowed slightly. Her red lips parted as she said, "You are." Bai Ningbing was probably eager to tell her something, so she said, "It's nothing, young lady. Just a junior employee from our company's marketing department. We brought him along last minute." "Yanyan, look at this file first." Liu Ruyan's attention was pulled away by her. I quietly let out a breath and stepped back to the side. They discussed business for almost half an hour. Finally, it ended. Next came personal matters. Aside from Liu Ruyan and Bai Ningbing, everyone else was sent out of the office. Using the bathroom as an excuse, I secretly slipped back, pressed against the crack in the door. I still managed to hear bits and pieces. Bai Ningbing coaxed, "Don't be mad, Yanyan. The last guy who dared to lie to you ended up regretting it so badly. If you want revenge on someone, isn't that ridiculously easy? How about I find someone for you?" The woman's voice was cold. She said, "No need. I'll give him one more day. If he still doesn't show himself, don't blame me for turning ruthless. I'll ruin his reputation and expose him across the whole internet." What the hell? Was that really necessary? I was just an ordinary nobody who dated online and did a bit. How did it turn into a crime against heaven? I angrily slapped my palm down. "Who's there?" Someone inside suddenly shouted. I got scared and quickly walked away. Bai Ningbing looked around at the door, but didn't see anyone. After she went back in, she continued the topic from before. "Yanyan, why are finance people so bold these days? Embezzling company funds is bad enough, but he's also keeping mistresses outside. Second, third, fourth women. Once we catch him, we have to make sure he goes to prison. Yanyan, why are you so distracted?" Liu Ruyan stared blankly at the red exclamation mark on her phone. Her eyes reddened. "Your brother-in-law is ignoring me because I said something really harsh and hurt his pride." Bai Ningbing said thoughtfully, "No wonder. I saw brother-in-law left the group too. The first thing I did after work that day was dig through the trash can at home and find the SIM card I'd thrown away. Then I logged into my alt account and added Liu Ruyan back. The moment the request went through, I glanced at the time. 11:55. Thank God. It hadn't been a full day yet. There was still room to fix this. The other side quickly sent a message. I typed furiously. Huge paragraphs of apology appeared on the screen. I also subtly reminded her that maybe there was some misunderstanding about the whole tens of millions thing. I checked it for typos and was just about to hit send when her message popped up first. "Hubby, you're finally willing to talk to me. I missed you so much these past 2 days. I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to see you. I'm sorry. Last time I really didn't mean to look down on you. I was just worried that something had happened to you. I wanted you to tell me. I wanted to share your worries. Since hubby is willing to talk to me, does that mean you're not mad anymore? Then came a tilted head kitten memo. I stared at those messages and deleted the long dramatic apology in my chat box line by line. Then I fell into deep thought. Why was this starting to get weird? What exactly did Lu Ruyan mean? My brain capacity didn't allow me to process something this complicated. So I simply sorted out the situation and posted it online, asking for help. Soon, a netizen replied to me, "So your girlfriend may have found out you were lying to her, and she's really mad. But instead of calling you out, she's still acting like normal." Before I could recover from that absolutely earth-shattering comment, Liu Ruyan dropped a bomb on me. She sent a voice message. "Hubby, let's meet." After this fight, I finally realized how powerless online dating can feel. Across the internet, emotional misunderstandings are bound to happen. "Hubby, I want to see you." Her tone sounded so wrong. That sugar-coated attack was insanely powerful. Little by little, I fell for every soft, sweet, "hubby," Liu Ruyan called me. By the time I came to my senses, it was already too late. I stared at the "okay" I had sent and shattered on the spot. 3 days later, Liu Ruyan and I were sitting in a high-end restaurant. For this meeting, I specially went to a suit store and picked out a 4-piece suit. I even spent money renting a luxury car. At that moment, I was sitting there, completely on edge. Across from me, Liu Ruyan kept looking at me. I couldn't help asking, "Why do you keep staring at me?" Liu Ruyan smiled softly. She said, "You feel very different from what I imagined." My heart dropped. I knew it. Not everyone can fake being a rich heir. Was Liu Ruyan laughing at me in her heart right now? I silently tightened my grip on my knife and fork. A wave of embarrassment surged up inside me. The next second, Liu Ruyan added, "But you're actually pretty interesting like this. No matter what you're like, I like you." I froze for a second and looked up at her. Liu Ruyan's tone was sincere, and her expression didn't seem fake. Just like that, I believed her so easily. Tonight's Liu Ruyan was completely different from the Liu Ruyan I had seen at the company. She wore a white sweater and light, natural-looking makeup. Her whole vibe was much softer and calmer. She looked even prettier. I stared at her, completely lost. Liu Ruyan's ears quietly turned red. She said, It'll get cold if you don't." Then she lowered her head and whispered, "You can take your time looking later." Saying something like that, with that face, was straight up cheating. For the second half of that meal, I only had one thought in my head. Dating Liu Ruyan felt way too wonderful. Whether she was pretending or not, whether she wanted revenge or not, I accepted it, because I had never felt anything like this before. At most, I'd give it one more month. After 1 month, no matter what she knew, or how much she knew, I would tell her everything. And so, I began living a completely split life. By day, I was a corporate workhorse. By night, I transformed into a rich heir, dating a wealthy heiress, in a fake romance. Sometimes, when I failed to balance both sides, a coworker messaged me, asking what I was doing. Crouching in the bathroom, I blurted out, "Handling some business at the bureau." "It's a bit difficult," my coworker said. Work had driven me insane. It wasn't work driving me insane. I felt like I really was about to lose it. Not only did I have to spare energy to date Liu Ruyan, but at work, I also had to deal with petty old geezers, making my life difficult. Ever since I replaced supervisor Bai Yuntao and went to Ransheng last time, he became convinced I had done it on purpose. Now, he was targeting me. Either he randomly docked my pay, or he found every excuse to order me around. Shenman spoke up for me twice, and he started targeting her too. Just as I was about to return to my desk to eat, my phone buzzed twice. "Hubby, let's have dinner together tonight. I know a Japanese place that's really good." Looking at Liu Ruyan's message, I couldn't help smiling. I replied, okay. I had just sat down when I noticed at a glance that Shen Man's seat was empty. I casually asked a coworker, "Where's Shen Man?" Without looking up, the coworker said, the minister wasn't satisfied with the event proposal she made, so she got called into the office. I frowned. Shen Man had shown me that event proposal, and Liu Ruyan was there too. I lowered my head, staring at my shoes, my mind completely blank. Beside me, Bei Yuntao was going off with one filthy accusation after another. He said, Ji Boda started it. This guy has absolutely no respect for rules. He slacks off at work, and he even harasses people. Several people have reported him to me. I've talked to him many times. But Ji Boda, he just keeps acting like he's untouchable. He's harassed female coworkers multiple times. I sternly reprimanded him, but he actually thought I was sticking my nose where it didn't belong. Then he got embarrassed and angry, and attacked me directly. Sister Bing Bing, I've worked at this company for years. You know what kind of person I am. I hate this kind of disgusting behavior the most. My mind was drifting somewhere else. I barely heard a word he said. Bai Nangbing called my name several times before I finally snapped back. I looked completely lost. The moment I looked up, my eyes inevitably met Liu Ruyan's, who was sitting beside Bai Nangbing. She stared at me intensely, her face unreadable. My face burned, and I lowered my head again. It was over. This fake romance couldn't go on anymore. That already fragile paper wall had been completely torn open. In her eyes, I was a scumbag, a liar. That was basically set in stone now. Ji Boda, are you stunned, stupid? Bai Ningbing snapped. He's accusing you of harassing female coworkers. Don't you have anything to say? This time I heard clearly, so I immediately denied it. He's full of crap. That bastard really has the nerve to play victim first. And he was the one who started it. Liu Ruyan, who hadn't spoken until now, finally opened her mouth. Her voice was low, and she sounded like she was in a bad mood. She asked, "Are your injuries serious?" I blurted out, "He's hurt worse, but that's not the point. You can't just listen to him." Biyuntao panicked. He said, "This man harassed female coworkers. His intentions are filthy. You can't trust anything he says." As soon as he finished, Liu Ruyan stood up from the sofa. She looked Biyuntao up and down, then walked a few steps forward, and stood in front of him. She asked, "Minister Bi, am I pretty?" Biyuntao swallowed, and hurriedly flattered her. "Of course you are. Anyone with eyes can see that." Liu Ruyan looked disdainful. "Then do you think Ji Boda is blind? Or do you think I'm blind?" Biyuntao looked confused. "Miss Liu, I don't quite understand what you mean." Liu Ruyan gave a cold laugh. "Do you think Ji Boda is blind, so he dumped me to go harass female coworkers? Or do you think I'm blind for choosing a scumbag as my husband?" Liu Ruyan turned to look at me and said teasingly, "When he has me, why would he need to harass anyone else? Would he even dare?" Fee, Bai Ningbing sprayed out the mouthful of water she'd just drunk. Biyuntao's eyes went wide. He opened his mouth, but couldn't say a word for ages. Biyuntao left in disgrace. This company probably had no place for him anymore. In the silent office, Bai Ningbing stood in front of me, staring at me like I was an alien species. She pressed her lips together. "Brother-in-law." I covered my face, looked up at the ceiling and said, "I'm not." "You are," Bai Ningbing said. Yanyan already admitted it. After saying that, she couldn't help letting out two weird little squeals. She said, "Wah. My subordinate is actually my brother-in-law. This is way too surreal. Am I dreaming?" "Enough." Liu Ruyan pushed her away from me. She said, "Can you leave for a bit, or I need to talk to him?" Bai Nangbing finally reacted. She pouted, "Fine." As she walked out, she said, "You two take your time. I'll go check on that little Shen employee first." After she left, she thoughtfully closed the office door. The whole office instantly fell silent. My hand in my pocket, unconsciously tightened around my keys. My mind was a mess. And while I was still dazed, a cool feeling suddenly spread over my arm. My whole body trembled. I turned to look. Liu Ruyan had somehow found a tube of ointment. She took a little and slowly applied it to the wound on my arm with her fingertip. You seriously thought I'd date you for real? Of course, we're breaking up. Our status is worlds apart. What made you think I'd ever be into you? I put up with you until now, just to get revenge. In the few seconds, Liu Ruyan stayed silent. The little drama theater in my head had already imagined every possible answer she might give. The more I thought, the more tangled I felt. Then one sentence from Liu Ruyan instantly dragged me back to reality. She said, "Break up." Oh my God, you didn't actually harass your female coworker, did you? How am I worse than her? My whole body jolted. I hurriedly denied it. No, I didn't. Don't say that. Liu Ruyan let out a breath of relief. She looked at me, her expression somehow a little hurt. She said, "Then, if that's the case, why do you want to break up with me? Did I do something wrong?" I was stunned. Wait, aren't you the one who wants to break up with me? Liu Ruyan was stunned too. She replied, "Why would I break up with you?" I said, "Because I felt like things weren't unfolding the way I'd imagined, but I still decided to tell the truth. I lied to you." I took a step back and slightly opened my arms so she could see me clearly. I said, "Look, I'm just the most ordinary, overworked employee at your best friend's company." Maybe something I said unintentionally made you misunderstand. Liu Ruyan, I'm not like you guys. We're not from the same world. I paused. My voice turned dry and strained, and suddenly, I couldn't keep going. But Liu Ruyan stepped forward, hooked her arms around my neck, and pulled us closer. She said, "We stand on the same ground and breathe the same air. Boda. We are from the same world. I only have one question for you. Do you like me?" She was way too close. For a moment, it was hard to breathe. I could only follow my heart and nod heavily. She smiled softly. "Then that's enough." Liu Ruyan reached out and rubbed the last bit of ointment onto my wound. Then she said, "Hubby, let's not break up, okay?" My heart went wild, almost jumping out of my chest. Looking at her smiling eyes, I suddenly realized something. "So when exactly did you know?" She said, "The first time we met." Liu Ruyan said, "When you came to Ransheng with Bai Ningbing and handed me that file, I recognized you, your voice, and your special mark." She lifted my right hand and tapped a spot on the back of my hand. "There's a tiny scar here. You once sent me a video of you playing guitar. I noticed this little crescent-shaped scar back then." The sensation of her skin touching mine snapped me back to reality. Scene after scene from what happened at Ransheng flashed before my eyes. Then, I suddenly remembered what I'd overheard outside Liu Ruyan's office. A ridiculous thought popped into my head. I blurted out, "So you and Bai Ningbing said all those things about dealing with me on purpose in the office so I'd hear them?" Liu Ruyan looked a little confused. She asked, "What things about dealing with you?" "The office." Her voice suddenly paused. She clearly remembered something. The corner of her mouth twitched slightly. She looked at me coldly. "You added me back because those words scared you. You thought we were talking about you. If you hadn't accidentally heard that, were you planning to disappear forever? Do you care about me that little see?" And here I was, thinking you came back because you saw me. Liu Ruyan's voice shook badly. Her expression changed again and again. Then, she let go of the hand she'd been holding. I looked at her in shock. Seeing her reaction, I immediately realized I had misunderstood everything. I was just about to speak when someone knocked on the office door. I turned to look. Bai Ningbing poked her little head in from outside the door. She said, "Yanyan, brother-in-law. Sorry to interrupt. Yanyan, my dad is here. We should head out." Liu Ruyan's expression had already returned to normal. She nodded. "Okay." She was about to leave, but then paused and leaned closer to me. In a low voice, she said, "Rest in this office for a while. Follow her wherever she goes. If she's still mad, force a kiss." I replied, "He sent, don't doubt me. I've read at least 100 CEO romance novels. Trust me, bro." Although I was Badao Niu Ma, I decided to trust him one more time, because he was the only person willing to reply to me. After making up my mind, early the next morning, I was sitting at my desk, planning to go to Ransheng to find Lu Ruyan after work. When I saw all my coworkers looking toward the hallway, I turned around and saw Bai Ningbing waving at me. Ji Boda, she leaned in and whispered, "I need to go to Ransheng again to discuss some business. Wanna come with me?" I shot to my feet and packed my things. 5 seconds later, I stood beside her. "Of course, Director Bai Ningbing." On the way to Ransheng, Bai Ningbing was in a great mood. Brother-in-law. I don't know what's up with Sister Ruyan. She's been in a bad mood lately, always sulking. With you here, I feel relieved." I rubbed my nose and guiltily looked out the window. "With me here, you should feel doomed." Liu Ruyan was mad because of me. Sure enough, aside from a flash of surprise when she saw me, Liu Ruyan never looked at me again. She nitpicked Bai Group's proposal so harshly it was almost cruel. Bai Ningbing was about to cry. She turned to me for help and whispered, brother-in-law, save me." I looked up at the ceiling and ignored her. Bai Ningbing retrieved the proposal that had been criticized into nothing and said pitifully, "Yanyan, it's already lunchtime. Let's go eat first." Liu Ruyan stopped picking it apart. She paused, picked up her bag and walked out. I followed her straight away. I walked too fast with my head down. When we reached the door, she suddenly stopped, and I headbutted her so hard she nearly fell flat. Gasps rang out around us. "Who is this guy? So reckless. He's done for." The young lady's going to be furious. Liu Ruyan got up, her lips pressed tight. She glared at me angrily. "What are you doing?" I started talking nonsense. "Bingbing's car is full. Let's ride together." Bai Ningbing froze for a second, then immediately said, Right. She was the first to head outside. "My car is totally packed. There's me, and also me, your friend, little Bingbing." Liu Ruyan looked up at me, just as I had prepared myself for her to reject me. She turned and left without saying a word. That was silent approval. My heart leaped, and I quickly followed her, from opening the car door for Lu Ruyan to sitting beside her in the back seat and fastening her seat belt. She didn't say a single word to me. She also didn't tell the driver to start the car. We sat there in silence for a full minute. Finally, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I said, "I'm sorry. It's not that I don't care about you. I said, I care about you too much." The moment I said, Liu Ruyan's tightly knitted brows softened slightly. She turned her head and looked at me, but didn't speak. I clenched both fists. For the first time, I laid my heart bare to someone I liked. I was really nervous. I said, "I come from an ordinary family. I'm reckless, and my abilities are average. Even getting into this company took a huge amount of effort. But meeting you felt like a blessing from heaven. So I treasure this hard-won relationship a lot. I've always known you're an incredible person, so I worked hard to become stronger too. At least in the future, when I stand beside you, I'd have a little confidence. But then you pulled me into your group chat, and I finally realized how delusional I was." I smiled bitterly. "Ruyan, the gap between us isn't something I can close just by working hard. Maybe it was my ridiculous pride. I was afraid you'd break up first. I was afraid you'd dump me first. I was afraid my words before had misled you, made you think I was deliberately lying to you. I didn't want my real feelings to be rejected along with it. That's why I chose to run. Before you found out, I wasn't the same kind of person as you. I ran first. Your humor, kindness, resilience, and your occasional cluelessness and recklessness. All of that is the Jiboda I like. As for those ridiculous lines," the corner of her mouth curved gently. She said, They're fun. Like a little tiger baring its claws, pretending to be all-powerful. I played along because I thought it was fun, too. It was our own little chemistry, our own little joke. I wasn't dumb enough to think that was the real you. She knew. She knew all along. I was just doing a bit. I stared at her in shock, speechless for a moment. Then I remembered when Liu Ruyan first pulled me into their small group chat, and what I saw them talking about. Feeling awkward, I said, but girls from families like yours care about matching status, don't they? And arranged marriages. She said, arranged marriage. Liu Ruyan gave a cold snort. I'm not some pretty vase. Who needs marriage to prove her worth? Jiboda, have a little faith in me. I have the right to choose who I marry. In the group chat, Shen Yuchu sent. I just sneezed several times for no reason. Who's talking about me behind my back? The young lady's dowry maid replied. Same here. Sukiankian also sent. What a coincidence. We had talked everything out, but Liu Ruyan still had no intention of letting the driver start the car. I carefully glanced at her and asked, are you still mad? Liu Ruyan nodded. I still feel foul. Before she could finish, I unbuckled my seatbelt and kissed her. Her face flushed red. What are you doing? I asked, are you still mad? Liu Ruyan bit her lip. Yes. I kissed her again. What about now? Liu Ruyan snorted coldly. Still mad. The more I think about it, the madder I get. Speechless, I moved to back away. I said, then stay mad. But she tugged my sleeve. How can you be like that? When you're comforting someone, you need patience and sincerity. I was speechless. The next second, I pulled her into my arms, cutting off her escape route, and leaned down to kiss her again. The phone in Liu Ruyan's bag vibrated several times. Neither of us noticed. The young lady's dowry maid sent. Yanyan, why aren't you here yet? I'm starving. The young lady's dowry maid sent. Ba Dayu, Niu, where are you two? Then she sent, I'm going to starve. Why is no one replying to me? What exactly are you two doing? Then came a curious cat mem. Shen Yuchu sent, forget it. Go have fun. Su Qianqian replied, forget it. The young lady's dowry maid sent. Extra. Biyunto was fired. Before leaving, he apologized to the whole company. Facing everyone's judgmental stares, he hugged his box and fled in embarrassment. Someone muttered, why does it feel like the injuries on his face got even worse? Yeah, the wounds Jiboda gave him with that ashtray haven't healed yet. I heard it. He harassed a girl on his way home drunk, and that girl's whole family runs a boxing gym. Her family beat him up, and it even got taken to the police station. How embarrassing. Serves him right. After Biao Yuntao was fired, Shanman was still feeling down. She started thinking about resigning. She said, I have no background, and I'm only average.